Hello everyone, this is John from RPGs and More, and in this video I am going to create the first character for my new solo campaign. We're using Swords and Wizardry Continual Light, along with the house rules that I explained in my previous video. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to take 3 6-sided dice and I'm going to roll them in the tray in order to decide my character's social status and starting wealth. See my book of names there, which I'm going to be using to name this character once we finish this process. But first, social status. Okay, it did not roll in the tray. There we go. All right. So we got a 6, a 4, and a 2. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is a 12. That means that we are respectable. We get a +1 to our checks regarding social status. We are respectable. +1. All right, now we are going to go straight into the ability scores for this character, starting with strength. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not dexterity, intelligence. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Wisdom. 6, 7, 8. Constitution. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Dexterity now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15. Getting it a +1 to dexterity. And finally, charisma. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, with an intelligence of 13 and a dexterity of 15, I'm thinking this character will be an elf. Yes, I think this character will be an elf. And I think, let's see, I think that this will be an elven fighter. So they can use that +1 dexterity. Yep, fighter. Although an intelligence of 13 is still pretty nice. Well, they're a smart elf. Okay, maybe they'll take some spell casting later. All right. Now we're going to roll for hit points. That is 1 hit die, which is a d6 +1. 2 +1, they have 3 hit points to start with. Ouchies! That also means, because we're using the social combat system, they also start with morale of 3. So, 3 and 3. Ugh! Their saving throws are at 16. Okay, and they are going to start. Let's see, we should mark down the elven abilities. So elves, they get a +1 to hit versus goblins, orcs, and undead. They're immune to paralysis, +2 save versus magic, +1 to hide in shadows and move silently. You know, actually, they would make a great rogue instead of a fighter. They would. An elven rogue. Even better. Even better. This is an elven swashbuckler. No, because we got +1 to dexterity. That won't help with ranged combat. Well, it won't help with melee combat. I would say I'm spending more time thinking than I should. I am overthinking this. All right, let's go with an elven bard. But they don't have that much charisma. Why would they be a bard? Okay, elven thief it is. Thief. All right. When in doubt, don't go with the complicated stuff. Okay, so special stuff. For them, they are immune to paralysis. They get +2. Save versus magic. And +1 to hide in shadows. As well as move silently. All right. Now, let's move to the next section of this. I don't need the dice tray anymore, so let's bring the camera back up to my face. At least I don't need the dice tray for a while. And we are going to work on the gear for our elven rogue, in addition to recording the rest of the information that they need. So their saving throw is not going to be a 16 necessarily. Let's check that. The rogue or thief starts with a 15, and their hit die is going to go down by, their hit points are going to go down by 1 because they no longer have the fighter's +1. So we're looking at 2 hit points and 2 morale points, and a saving throw of 15, which is actually 1 better. So that's not so bad. All right. And okay, and they are going to start out with 120 gold pieces, which means I think that they, as an elven rogue, they will get to use leather armor, which in my games, my setting, I kind of I changed that to a gambeson or padded armor because I guess you could use like the whole, I am kind of doing fantasy though more. I'm doing fantasy more often than I usually do the hard historical. So yeah, I'm going to nix that, and I'm going to just go with leather armor because it's fantastical and it's fun. So I don't always have to be so pedantic, do I? I don't. All right, we're going to go with leather armor because they're a rogue. Leather. And they're going to be armed with a bow. So that's going to be that, to get that started. But let's actually take a look at their thief abilities. All right. They are going to have some, so because I'm using my rules for thief abilities, we get to have some modifications to this. So the standard array for a thief is you get a 1 in 3 chance on a 1d6 to hear noises behind closed doors. I translate that to you have a 4 up chance. Actually, I'm just going to go and flip to that page in this. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doo. Excuse me. Of course, it's the having a hard time finding it naturally. I think I just hit the mic, I'm sorry. Tome of Horrors Light 2. That's going to be good information for me to use. Nope, it's not in here. So I'm just going to have to go by my memory, and I'll have to print out the rest of those pages. So yeah, the thief, the start of that you have a 1 in 3 chance on a 1d6 to hear noises behind closed doors. So that translates to a 4 or higher, because a 1, 2, or 3 is essentially like rolling 1, 2, or 3 on a d6. But what I do is I turn it on its head so that the 6 is the most desirable number. So we start from a 6, 5, and a 4. So then you have to roll a 4 or higher. So we translate that as 4 plus. So move. Oh, sorry, hear noise. Is a 4 plus. But because they're an elf, they get a, oh, that's right, they get a +1 to hide, not hearing. So that is a 4 plus. Then 1 in 4 chance on a 1d6 to read unfamiliar languages. That translates to a 3 plus. Read unfamiliar languages, 3 plus. 1 in a 5 chance on a 1d6 to climb walls and cliffs without tools, so that is a 2 plus on climbing. One in 2 chance to find and remove traps, open locks, hide in shadows, move silently, or pick pockets. So, find traps. And that is going to be a 5 plus. Open locks. 5 plus. Hide, move, or pick pockets. And the hide is going to be, there's a +1 bonus for being an elf, which is actually going to translate to a -1 to this, which is going to take it from a 5 plus to a 4 plus. And then the move silently is the same, so that's going to be 4 plus. The pickpockets remains a 5 plus. All right, and then the other thing is they can backstab an opponent to get a +4 to hit and deal double damage. So backstab. +4 to hit times 2 damage. All right. And that is all the pertinent rule information. Now we're going to go to the equipment purchasing for this character. For purchasing equipment, we start with 120 gold pieces thanks to our 12. Rule 12 multiplied by 10. All right. So leather armor and a bow has cost us 5 gold pieces for the leather armor, and then 15 for the gold. Oh, sorry, for the bow. So that's a grand total of 20 gold. All right, so we have 100 gold pieces left. But we now also want to buy some social weapons. And this is where it's going to get kind of fun. So I'm going to write down social weapons, or social armor first. So for social armor, let's turn to the social combat rules. All right. Oh, we should also record the starting social bonus for our character. Our character is a first level character, so their social attack bonus is 0. Okay, so their basic hit bonus is 0. And their social HB equals 0. Okay, now they are going to buy some social armor. There are several different kinds of social armor. You could purchase nonchalance. Now, okay, to answer one of the questions, why would you purchase this, or how does that work? Well, you purchase it. It's not like buying a shirt. You can't go to the store and buy nonchalance, right? But what you can do is you can pay people to help you learn how to be that way. You can pay for an education. You can pay, a bunch of drinks for a bunch of people's drinks at the bar, and then they will give you lessons in how to, stand up for yourself more, or how to feel more confident in yourself. And so that money represents that overtime payment in order to do these things, not just a one lump sum, unless your character went to college, in which case it probably was a one lump sum. All right. So social combat defense, we are going to look at, we can get nonchalance, which would give us a +2 and cost 15 gold pieces. We could get a witty repartee, which gives us a +3 and cost 30 gold pieces. We could get highly educated or conviction. Have conviction about something. That's a +4 to defending yourself against other people's attacks, but costs 75 gold pieces. Nobleman's status gives you a +6 and costs 100 gold pieces. And then body language, knowing how to carry yourself, gets a +1. It's kind of like a shield, and it costs 10 gold pieces. So body language is something that you can kind of stack, or just buy it on its own. Now, I think that this is an elf. This is an elf who's been around for a long time. They actually will have learned an awful lot about the world. So they're going to be highly educated. And that's going to cost 75 gold. All right, leaving them 25 for other things. But or I could just have them be a witty repartee. Yeah, witty repartee. So that's going to give them a +3 to their social armor class. All right, and now we're going to look at their social weapons. So there are two different kinds of attacks you can buy. You can buy attacks using your presence, which is kind of like, these are attacks that if you have a bonus to your charisma, then you can apply that to these attacks. Or attacks using your reason, which is if you have a bonus to your intelligence, then you can apply that. So this character has neither of those. So we'll just take a look at what those are. So under reason, we have blunt facts, which deals 1d6 minus 1 points of morale damage and costs 5 gold pieces, because it doesn't cost much in order to just learn some basic blunt facts about something. And you're not learning how to deliver it in a kind way to make people really want to listen to you. You're just like, no, that's that. And it can be effective at disarming people, but also a lot of people it gets their heckles up and they tend to not respond well. So it's 1d6 minus 1. All right. A logic argument, 1d6, cost 15 gold pieces in order for learning the logic. Present evidence, 1d6 plus 1. That's a 30 gold pieces. Kind of represents learning how to research your facts and your evidence and learning a bunch of different topics so you can present evidence. Point out a flaw in someone else's argument is 12 gold pieces and 1d6 morale damage. Split hairs with somebody. If you really want to be pedantic, costs 6 gold pieces because it's just research, and it's 1d6 minus 1. You may be successful, but they'll probably hate you for it, so it doesn't do as much social damage necessarily. And then there's name drop, which is the ability to drop names in order to make I was talking with my friend Cletus, you know Cletus, he wrote that book, and he told me that this is what's going on, and I told him that this is what's going on, and he fully agreed with me, and so should you. Kind of, name dropping argument. All right, that's 1d6 damage and would cost 10 gold pieces for social networking. Okay, attacks using presence. We're talking the pun. 1d6 minus 1 and cost 2 gold pieces. You're basically buying a lot of drinks at the bars and you're learning puns and you're learning bad stuff, bad jokes basically. The personal insult is 1d6 damage for 8 gold pieces. The innuendo is 1d6 damage for 10 gold pieces. The slander, 1d6 plus 1 damage for 20 gold pieces, because you got to learn enough stuff about somebody to be able to really slander them good. Then there's the persuasive argument for 1d6 for 10 gold pieces. The emotional appeal, 1d6 plus 1 for 15 gold pieces. And then displaying your status to win your argument. If you are someone who bangs their graduation ring in order to remind people that you are a graduate of that particular place and therefore you should be listening, they should be listening to you. That is 12 gold pieces because you got to buy the ring and deals 1d6 morale damage. So my elf, they're going to have themselves specially trained in, or they're going to purchase the following attacks that they can use. They're going to purchase the pun, because that's how I roll. All right, pun for 2 gold. And then they're also going to purchase the innuendo. For 10 gold. And let's see, they had 25 gold left. So that's basically 12 out of the 25. So now they have 13 gold pieces remaining to them. Let's see. I think that we will leave it at that for right now. Oh, what the heck? Let's throw in a personal insult. Actually, let's change the innuendo to personal insult. Which is 8 gold, meaning that we're now left with a little bit more. So we've got 8, 9, 10, so we still have 15 left to purchase regular equipment. All right, that is enough of that. I think this video is going to be long enough. So let's just go straight to regular equipment and purchase that really quick. I've already got a bow for them. I have, they're going to get a dagger. For 2 gold. All right, and that leaves us with 13 gold pieces in equipment. You know what? We're going to skip the dagger. And they're going to buy a week's worth of rations for 15 gold, and that's it. So rations. Okay, and that's all of their gear for this person. So let's give them a name. We're going to look at my book of names here, and I'm going to just kind of pick an area and go. Oop! Irish names. All right, I like it already. Let's look at female personal names, male personal names, family names. Female or male? I'm going to roll that real quick, and let's turn the camera down so you can see what I roll, or just roll it on the book. 6, female. All right. Yeah, whenever I roll for that, it's basically 1 to 3 is male, 4 to 6 is female. So, elf, female. And they are a ranged combatant with a bow. And, although actually, you know what? I have a figure I want to use for this. And the figure's male. We're going to switch that. We're going to reverse it. Why? Because I'm the GM. And I can do that. Okay. So male Irish names. Start in the middle and circle out. Ewan. E-W-E-N. All right. Ewan is this elf's name. And he will get a nickname at some point in the future, but for right now, that's what he's got, and that's what we're going to go with. All right, and so to recap, Ewan the elf has an 8 strength, 13 intelligence, wisdom of 8, constitution of 9, dexterity of 15, giving him +1, and charisma of 11. Those are all decent scores with 1 bonus. I like it. Okay, armor class with the leather armor. It's going to be a total of 12. All right. Their social armor class is going to be with witty repartee. Their social armor class is going to be a 13, actually. So they're a little bit more resilient against morale attacks. They only have 2 hit points though, so let's cross our fingers. And that pretty much covers all the rule information that we need for this character. I know this video ran a little bit long, I'm sorry. But that's everything there. Let's move on to the next character, maybe. And then we will get started with the game itself. But that will all happen in a future video. So thank you for sticking around with me so far tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and peace be with you. Bye-bye.